Thank you for visiting the Coin Lady channel again. Having all these warning signs and signals everywhere makes it seem like the end is near, my friends. In today's video, I'll be discussing the impending doom that may be on the horizon. Before we get into it, I want to clarify that this is not financial advice. We're just trying to stay ahead of the curve. Is anything else on the horizon? I truly hope that crypto achieves new heights before something catastrophic happens. I don't want to make a big deal out of it, but I would really appreciate it if you could like this video. I'll show you how. Check out what's in store for you shortly. Jeff Bezos sells 3 or 4 billion shares of Amazon stock in 4 trading days, dude. Excuse me, what's happening? Yes, it would appear that Jeff Bezos is currently engaged in a selling frenzy. Dudes, that's really absurd. Short and sweet. Occasionally, even Elon Musk is a guy, isn't he? Admire Elon Musk as he truly is. I mean, I'll be laughing along with you, even though that is obviously not Jeff Bezos. Listen, folks, if I were to sell Amazon shares worth billions of dollars. We are not even kidding about this. While it's possible to find humor in this, it really shouldn't be. If this isn't an indication of trouble, I don't know what will become, you guys. Just in case you forgot, Jeff Bezos sold his shares before 20 things happened. Am I correct? At this very moment, what is he up to? Doing the same exact thing, a repeat, so to speak, which is crazy, right? We now have February 9th here, thanks to the reported time. February 13th. Additionally, on February 13th, $2 billion worth of Amazon shares were sold, and on February 9th, $2 billion worth of Amazon shares were sold. I thought he made $2 billion more yesterday. So, you guys, he made a profit in the last week or two. Roughly speaking, $6 billion. On the other hand, he made $6 billion. Because no one is paying attention. I see. I don't understand. What is it? I cannot comprehend. So nonetheless, Jeff Bezos retains a sizable stake in Amazon. Am I correct? However, this begs the question, why is Jeff Bezos selling so much stock at the moment? Yes, exactly. It was pointed out that that is undoubtedly the top 10. Or at least this temporary peak. What are your thoughts on the matter? Do you think he's attempting to diversify his investments or save some for a black swan event at USC? On February 9th, pretty much in the upper right corner of the screen, we discussed his first US stock sale, and on February 13th, we discussed his second. It was 9:13 and 15 minutes ago, right? Am I crazy for thinking that the numbers 9, 13, and 15 are still holding up? Look at this, guys, on the top right corner, if you go into weekly views. In essence, is he attempting to safeguard themselves, correct? So, the last time this happened in 2020, just before the event, it was around these levels. It did drop, but it seemed like it was equivalent to the old highs. So, if we do have an event, like a black swan, coming up, and if we do drop automobiles, they will likely go back up. You do realize that the stock market isn't always rational? It doesn't imply that everything will die tomorrow, because it will dump and collapse. Everything will die before we see the collapse, though. Warren Buffett also sold around 10 million Apple shares in the most recent quarter, as you can see below. Look at this, smart money is selling at historic levels. That's a telltale clue that insiders are selling out of the markets. Even this billionaire is selling, so it's really widespread. So, folks, it has remained consistent for the whole of 2023 in terms of sales, but if we look at this indication from January to February of 2024, it just went completely bonkers. What on earth does that even imply, dudes? The smart money isn't necessarily right, you know? Maybe I'm unsure of what I mean. Yeah, I get it. But surely this is a signal? Maybe it's because these guys are visible to them. Okay, I'm not attempting to be scary, are you? Nonetheless, we aim to maintain a leading position, you guys. Right now. We did our best, as you can see from the bar chart. Please give your loved ones a bear hug this evening. Am I correct? Here we may observe the S&P 500 individuals up here, shown by the red line. I understand. Next up is the orange, which represents the white line. Here we go, folks, the white line today is S&P, I understand. Additionally, the red line reverted to 1929, the year of the Great Depression. And what if this turns out to be nothing like what you guys thought? I have no idea what will happen because, well, I'm not sure the S&P will remember 1929. What this means, guys, is that we will dump, bounce back up, and then collapse. Am I correct? Cryptocurrencies that experienced a decline last year may see a recovery this year or the year after. Alright, so here's a made-up group of dudes. As a hypothetical situation, what if this actually happens? Which I am completely unaware of. No, I disagree, everyone. On the other hand, this could be a black swan. Am I correct? It's coming soon. I see. So the Federal Reserve steps in and rescues the day, huh? The collapse happens, though, after we travel all the way to a pure gas. I see. Although that is purely conjectural. What new opportunities do you see Bitcoin and altcoins providing, assuming this scenario plays out? Instead, go absolutely crazy while this is happening? Return to the peak? Am I correct? Turns around? The answer eludes me. I really hope this situation doesn't come to pass, though. Am I correct? Meanwhile, the stock market continues to surge higher. At least, that is my expectation. Next, we observe the link, which is evident, isn't it? However, it's ultimately disheartening. Given the variety of opinions expressed, I'd like to know why it was just inserted, guys. S&P 500 to $6,500 by 25th, according to Capital Economics. The economic bubble may still have a ways to go before it bursts, as we can see for ourselves. So, what are they proposing? Plus, by the year's end, it receives $6,500. What makes this interesting, guys? By the end of next year, what will it be? By year's end 2025? Am I correct? You do realize that Big Short is a regular into the community status that will last until 2026. 26 marks the final day of the year 25. Am I correct? I can't wait for you to see all 26 of those things, they're intriguing. That being said, I'm crossing my fingers that we get to see these advanced levels before the stock market can continue to rise, therefore I guess we roused ourselves. People will continue to want irrational dumps, collapses when everything goes wrong, and similar scenarios. Boom, nevertheless, this is the telltale indicator. We yelled out, "Hey, look at this," and the crew complied. Recession is the key to breaking the UK economy. So there it is. I see. What a bunch of wild dudes, huh? And that's only the start. I don't understand why. This is because to the fact that the economies of the United Kingdom, Japan, Ireland, Estonia, and Finland are all currently experiencing recessions, along with payroll in these other nations. The economics folks. This is just the start, am I correct? The Federal Reserve will have to start printing more money if Ellis's money printing has consequences. However, we will experience tremendous inflation thereafter, won't we? On the other hand, is a recession imminent? Arriving soon. It seems to me that these black swan incidents are connected to the recession gods. This could be related to Jeff Bezos' sale of Amazon stock in the year 2020, just before that black swan catastrophe happened. The Federal Reserve will presumably intervene once more, won't they? As well as reposition everything. You mean prints, huh? I ask you again, what will the Fed do now that they're in this jam? Am I correct? Since if they maintain rates for an extended period and do so again next month everything will fall apart in the months following. A guy writes anything. A black swan will happen, that's right. But what will they do if they print here again? You're talking about high inflation. The next episode of Clown World will likely jump right into this topic, so for now all we can do is wait. If you still need convincing, consider this, the stock market is unrelated to the economy. Rationality is plain to observe. A recession has hit Japan. This country's economy is declining. China disapproves. Alright, folks, Germany is currently experiencing a recession. They're doing great. In fact, the three of them have reached new heights. I see. Is the stock market in the United States at an all-time high if the country were to go into recession? I see. The cycle continues. Everything continues until, well, something falls apart. Holy cow! A recession hit Japan. Unbelievable. Old news. It was March 10, 2000. Nasdaq reaches new all-time high, everyone. March 13th. The news puts a damper on your writing. Stock prices in technology plummeted. I think something might be coming up, you guys, but the stock market isn't worried about it. It's the new all-time highs that indicate the Japanese markets, stock markets, and mainstream media are onto something wicked. Tripping Cash has been increasing its sales for the past 6 months by offering liquidity to shell companies, much like vendor finance did during the dot-com era. Bubble gas is fascinating, so they're following the trend on the dot-com. It's about the implode men, and bubbles are a similar strategy. The answer eludes me. However, I would like to see Bitcoin experience the same meteoric rise as this individual in this video. That would be great. And it's all encrypted. Okay, fellas? Is the following possible? Can you believe that? Is it following? It's the year 2000. Who are these bubble guys? All these graphs make me think of the Great Depression or the bubble of 2000. However, there is another side to this. You don't see negative charts when things are going euphoric, right? So, I've been seeing a lot of bearish chart guys on Twitter, which is unusual. So, I can only assume that they will continue to pump it until the whole crowd is overcome with joy. That is, until your feline friends and granny are overjoyed. Nobody, even you and me, will be able to stop them from collapsing the markets until they've fooled everyone. Seeing as how bearish calls are typically absent during peaks. Strangely, Bloomberg has issued a warning on HSBC. The number of warnings is getting too high due to the mounting pressure from the Fed's pivot and concerns over China's property potential. Yes, exactly. I don't know what the Fed will do next, but bankruptcy filings are skyrocketing, so clearly things are already collapsing. In Chapter 11, Bankruptcy, Mr. Poole receives a warning. I thought November was the month when 2 people filed for bankruptcy at the same time, right? Clearly, it has been declining, hasn't it? Did the housing bubble bust in 2008 cause it to go parabolic? However, it will gradually decline throughout the years, beginning in 2014, 2015, 2016, 17-18, 19-20, and finally January 21, 2022. After the Federal Reserve began increasing interest rates, a parabolic rise toward the upside began to take shape, correct? Just like in 2008, something happened here. One more time, this will be related to an impending black swan event in the coming months. Lead lag report indicates that the first of my signals have flipped March, but I have no idea what will happen next. Why? Because the bank is cutting funding, RP is ending, interest rates are at record highs, the Fed is maintaining rates until something breaks, and there was a lot of liquidation earlier this week, so I could be completely mistaken. What are your thoughts on the matter? I can handle the danger, but it's getting extreme, you know? I mean, like, this thing could just keep supporting everything, which is absolutely absurd, right? So, here we see from Alchemy 5-9 that they have limitless money, but before we get to that, let's get ready. Occasionally, Tammy, one of the regular guys, may surprise you with a CD. Be wary of the stock markets in April 2020. It will happen completely unexpectedly, won't it? It will likely collapse, and people will be affected. From the perspective of the regulars, that is pure speculation, but things are getting rather chaotic out here. Okay, then, let's get ready for everything that may come our way. Financial guidance not included. A great number of red flags, however, are visible. What follows is anyone's guess. At that point, the video cuts off. Do me a favor and subscribe to my channel. Goodbye for now.